Good morning, St. Nicholas. This is Miss Mayo coming to you from my home garden. This is a little patch of my garden, and I'm surrounded by some of my favorite plants. This is sage. These little purple flowers are sage flowers. I have some oregano growing right here next to me. It smells great. I have Egyptian walking onions. They get heavy on the top and then fall over, and that's how they take a step. They create a new plant. That one grows up and falls over. So that's a neat plant. Also going to be planting some calla lilies today that Jackson gave me for Mother's Day. I'm very excited about these. I think they're just gorgeous. And of course, I always have seeds. If you remember anything about me, you know I have a lot of seeds. Well, lately I've had a lot more time to garden at my house and to listen to my neighborhood dogs. And I'm not the only one who's been gardening more. All across our country, lots of people have been gardening. In fact, they're saying that people haven't gardened so much since World War II. Way back in World War II, people started growing what was called victory gardens. And victory gardens became the biggest trend, one of the biggest trends of World War II. The gardens fed a lot of the country when they didn't have a lot of food coming in. And today, fast forward to 2020, we've been in a quarantine at home. And that quarantine has meant that a lot of people have a lot of extra time and energy, and some people have a little bit of nervousness about where their food comes from. And so people have been growing victory gardens in their home. Lots of vegetables are being grown, herbs, all types of things. And I'm no different. I made my garden better at home too. And we started a couple new gardens in our yard. So that got me thinking about, well, seeds, because I've been planting a lot of them, and how during this time that's a little bit scary, a little bit confusing, and a little bit unknown, something that we can have a little bit of control over is how we plant seeds in our life. Got a car driving by with a little noise. So when I plant seeds, I could put them a certain amount into the ground, as we always do at school, and put them a certain distance apart to make sure that they grow. When I am in my everyday life, not being a gardener, just being a person, I can sow seeds in my relationships with the people around me by the things I say and the things I do. So let's say I wanted Jackson's help outside in the garden and we had to do some weeding. If I were to yell, "Hey Jackson, get out here and help me in the garden right now, you're gonna pull up some weeds." Instantly, the seed I sowed in Jackson might be frustration, anxiety, ugh. But if I were to say to Jackson, "Hey, come see this really pretty flower that we have growing outside," or this really cool walking onion. And then when he gets out here, we start looking around and pulling up the weeds and talking about how we can make this plant better by taking the weeds out. That might be a way that I can inspire him to garden. So I'd be planting a seed of inspiration instead of a seed of frustration. And I know we're all at home a lot these days with our families, and it's helpful if the words we say and the actions we take bring love and peace instead of frustration. You can improve your relationship with your family by choosing your words carefully. Choosing to speak in love can be really powerful. So I would invite you this week to think about the seeds that you are sowing in your life. Just like plants that grow, if I plant a seed of, let's see, a zucchini, I know I'll get a zucchini. If I plant a seed of love with my words, I'll get love in return. So grow a garden in your relationships full of love and support and kindness. And remember that your actions and your words are sowing seeds every day. I hope to see you all very soon. I miss my St. Nicholas family, and I hope that your gardens are growing beautiful and that we will all be together again very soon. Goodbye.